Hi, this is Janae from the Itch to Stitch. In this video, I will demonstrate how to use our Gallimaufry Ombre Sketch font in Embrilliance Software. Gallimaufry is a new style of sketch font. Our sketch fonts feature a light and airy fill pattern. However, this one has two different passes of sketch so that you can blend two colors. The stitch density varies to create the ombre effect. Then the letter is finished with a triple bean stitch in a third color. Since each letter has 3 color stops, there are lots of variations for how you can color the font. You just get to play with thread like it's paint. Let's start with that first collage. I already have the BX files installed, so I'll click the A button to create a lettering object. In the text box, I'll type Molly and hit enter. And then from the font selection, I'll go down to Gallimaufry and let's choose the 3-inch size. A couple things, when this pulls in, one thing to note is that it looks like it's solid green. One thing that will help is if we go to zoom 1 to 1, then we can start to see a little bit of yellow. But actually, if we turn off this 3D mode, right now it's in 3D mode, so it's simulating what it might look like with thread. If we turn that off so we just see stitches, then we definitely will see that yes, there is yellow behind the green in this. If we click the color tab, we'll see that the colors alternate. We've got yellow, green, blue for this name. When you select the font and click set, the letters come in place, and if you look at it, let's line it up here with the middle of the hoop, you'll notice that the bottom of the letters actually aren't aligned with each other, and that is by design. The original font artist created this font to be very whimsical, so the letter sizes are not super consistent, nor the placement along the baseline. When we created the BX files, we adjusted the letter positioning so that it would match the intended look of the original font artist as close as possible. So for example, the lowercase a dips below, the lowercase f dips below the baseline and also rises above. It's taller than the capital F. The T significantly dips below the baseline. So there's just a lot of funky placement. We did our best to match the original look, but as always, you are the artist. So when we come back to here to look at Molly, for interest, since the letters already bounce around, I may choose to move one L up and one L down just to give it a little bit extra fun look. Now let's color it the way Jana stitched it in the collage. Light pink and light purple for the sketch and a dark purple for the outline. So if I come over here to my color tab, if I right click on yellow, click on my thread palette and find pink, that changed, if we turn off 3D, that changed the first color stop on all those letters to pink. Now if I right click the green, change color everywhere on page to light purple, and right click the navy blue, and let's change that to a dark purple. Now I have my file set up so that it will stitch the colors that I would like. It simulates it, but again, this is just a software preview. The best way to see what it's going to look like is to do a sample stitch out, because it will really depend upon the thread colors you choose. So here's a close-up of the threads. You can see the light pink and the light purple and then outlined in a dark purple. And so the ombre effect is visible and is subtle in this case because the threads are both light colored threads. Let's try to imitate that big sister design. That was 2 lines of text, so I will switch to the multi-line text and type big on one line and sis on the other and click set. And I believe we use the 3.5-inch size, which means we need to reduce the line space to get that to fit in this 8x12 hoop. And we probably shifted the G up just a little bit. Okay, so you can get all your letter positioning done. We started with light blue on top. So again, if I right click change color on page, and select light blue, and then transition that to purple, and outline it all maybe in a hot pink. the look that we will get is what you see on the left. So both words have the same coloring. If, however, we want the ombre effect to extend down and change into the second word, so the top word being blue and purple and the second word being purple and pink, the easiest way to do this in Embrilliance is to create two separate lettering objects. Okay, so I'm going to just get this grid off of here for a minute and hoop, uncheck draw grid and draw hoop so it's not distracting us. I'll create a new lettering object and type big. All right, so again for big, we wanted that to be, let me go to my palette where I've got my colors, the light blue and light purple. And let's outline the whole thing in black. Now that I have that colored, I can create my second word. Type sys and click set. And then in this case, I'm going to start with purple. So right click, change color on page and choose that purple. And then now go to pink and outline it in black. Okay, now if we zoom in, we'll see that, let's turn off 3D mode. Big now transitions from blue to purple and then from purple to pink in the second line of text. Okay, so this would be a great idea for maybe a little girl that's got a double name like Eliza Kate. You can do this ombre effect across two lines of text in that manner. Let's talk about how I achieve this look on a towel for my son. Create a lettering object, type dash, and in this case, all the outlines were outlined in black, so I'm going to go ahead and do that first. But for half of the letters, I alternated how I used the colors. To do the letters individually, I will need to click the green square inside the D. I will left click the yellow and select the lime green, and then left click the second color block and select blue. Again, we'll zoom in a little bit so you can see the green transitioning to the blue. I'm going to turn that to 3D mode. I did that same thing for the letter S. So let me change to palettes, light green and blue. But for the A and the H, instead on these, I started with blue and ended with light green. So start with blue and end with light green. Okay, and so then that creates a different look. Since each letter has two different colors of sketch, you can create a rainbow look by working through the rainbow colors in pairs. Let's recreate this Skylar file. Create a new lettering object. And again, this is where you might want to tweak letter positions. Let's go back to that alphabet image. We'll see that again, according to the funky letter placement, but from the original font artist, this lowercase r actually sets above the baseline. And so that may look really cute when it's squashed in between two letters, but when it's at the end of a name, you may prefer for it to be aligned with the A. Okay, so again, you get to position the letters the way you want, no matter how they come in. So once you have them positioned in a pleasing way, we're going to start coloring that. We'll click the color tab. All the letters are outlined in black, so this is where we can change color on page. And choose black. Now to start the transition, for this one I actually started with purple and worked my way back to red. So for the S, the first color needs to be blue. And the second color, purple. Let me go turn off 3D mode so you can see what's happening. The K needs to end with blue and start with green. So we'll start with green and end with blue. The Y can stay the way it is because it's going to start with yellow and transition to green. The L will start with orange and transition to yellow, blend to yellow. The A will start with red and transition to orange. And then finally for the R, we're going to end with red down here. And so I cycled back around the rainbow and started with purple. And ended with red. All right, now we'll see that I've used 7 different thread colors because there's 6 colors of the rainbow and black to outline it. And again, if you choose the bright rainbow thread colors, you will end up with a project that looks like this. Now, one of the really cool things about using lettering objects with Embrilliance is I can come in here and type a new name, click Set, and it remembers the coloring that I chose. Okay, so that's going to be really helpful if this becomes a project that you create with lots of different names. Now, what happens if you type a name that's shorter, like Janae, and click Set? It's going to still keep the first letters, and since Janae only has 5 letters, it's dropped that last color combination. If I undo that one, let's check and see what happens if I type a longer name, like Rochelle. All right. It has the same letters as Rachel, and then just continues these two. So then if you wanted a longer name, you'd have to continue recoloring that. So let's go back and just change this to Rachel. Now here's the drawback. It preserves these color assignments for this lettering object no matter what I type, but if I choose a different size, it's going to reset back to the default colors. So it's important that you select the size you want to use before you start changing all the thread colors. Let me show you a working file that I have created to save myself time when making rainbow names. Go up to File and open this file that I've named Rainbow 10. Now again, this is a working file. It has one lettering object where I have typed 10 numbers, and I have gone through the process of recoloring it like we just did. Let me turn off 3D mode so you can see. If we click the color tab, we'll see that I am going through the rainbow, but I have 10 characters. That should be enough to cover most of my stitching needs so that I can come in here, click the letters tab, and start changing it to different names. One other piece of advice, let's say you've got someone like my daughter, long name. You'll have to pay attention whenever you're using the lowercase I or lowercase j or some of the punctuation, because the dots are stitched separate from the body of the letter. So you may have to recolor that dot to match. So it was purple, red, black. So that means this needs to be purple, red, and black to match. We cannot wait to see how you use this font. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out our other videos for more helpful tips.